Well, looks like we are live. Okay. So, what do we today? What are we doing today? चल जा भाई. Okay, seems good. So, point is, we are doing kind of my side project that I was doing. And I thought I would continue that as a on a stream today because why not? Okay, so before we continue, uh, what are we building? So we are building a Rust project, uh, a Rust project, or you can call it Rust program, which will run on my Pi Zero, and we'll be using Bluetooth. So basically, the idea is key. I'll use Raspberry Pi Zero, and its Bluetooth to connect it to my phone, and then we'll use it to control some peripherals that are connected to my Pi Zero. So the idea is that using my phone, I'd be able to, let's just say, control some stuff. For example, I have this setup, and sometimes I feel the resistance, or you can say the activation energy to switch on the setup is so much that I end up doing nothing. So if I had a device which could let me just show you instead of just talking nonsense. For that, I have to do something. Stop this thing and start a UX play to connect my iPad screen so that I can show you guys what I mean by all this. Screen mirroring, UX plans. Do we have it? Yes, we do. Do I get it here? Wait a minute. Yes, I do. Cool. So the idea is pretty simple. Thing is, which one do I pick? I'll just pick a random. iPad storage almost full. Bhai. So idea is this. How many times am I going to say idea is this? Let me just write it. Idea is this, that I should make it thinner. I have my Raspberry Pi 02W. This is going to communicate with my phone, right? And this thing will be hooking up, for the example I'm giving, a kind of a relay board. Relays, I'll just write multiple relays, and this is my setup. Let's just say I had Shakalaka Boom Boom Pencil, these things would be alive. Okay, and relays are basically controlling this switchboard, and switchboard has wires. This thing is this, and then I have this thing called, I'm thinking about making a video of modeling something. I have this thing, and then I have another thing called mini PC, so switchboard would also control that thing. And what else do I have? Yes, I have another shit that we call how do I draw this? Yes, let me just draw it like this. Right, and I have this shifter. So this is connected to this. This guy eventually has a power supply. So the monitor is turned. I forgot another thing, that is my non-working laptop. Non-working means the screen is shit. The screen has completely turned off. So this thing has a charger, and this charger goes to this. So idea is there will be some app with some switches. I don't know how this app is going to be built, but I have done this before, so why not again? Am I audible, right? Well. Yes, I am. So the idea is this. Idea is this guy. So, and this thing, how are we going to do this Raspberry Pi thing? We are going to code this in Rust plus, I mean, this thing is running Linux. So Rust plus Linux plus BLE. Right. So the thing is, I have no fucking idea. Like I don't even know Rust completely. I just know the syntax little bit. Linux, I just know a couple of things. BLE, just a theory part, never done coding in BLE. So the first problem was, this thing looked good on the paper, like you can see right now. Now how do I bring it into reality, right? So the hardware part is already done, the relays and all these things, they are simple. The only thing is that that Rust plus Linux plus BLE part. The thing is, you can use AI for this, and this is what I did. Like you can ask Chat GPT, like you take all this info, feed it into Chat GPT with your intent, like what is it that you want to build, right? And it will give you a roadmap. I shouldn't say intent, you can say like give it your the current information you have. It's I wouldn't use the word knowledge, because I think it's a different thing. So current info, you know. So basically your starting point. So you give starting point and the end point, yeah, you can call this. You give a start and end, and it will give you a roadmap. Easy peasy, right? Makes sense? Yeah, and this is exactly what I did. So I'll just show you very briefly what I did in Chat GPT part. This was the Pi0 and the thing, um, the roadmap thing, right? So it was a very long conversation that went from like this. I said what I want to build and the start and end point, and based on that, it gave me everything. And I'm telling you, this setting up cross compiler was a nightmare on this thing. Like I literally, and it wasn't difficult. It's just because I did not know anything about these things, the cross compiling. I had some idea because of the embedded background, but I never done this at this level because this is completely raw. Every tool chain that you are using, they are completely there. But this was fun. I learned a lot on this. So I used this thing, and it gave me, like, it first gave me these example codes, the files and everything, but the code did not compile at all. So I like this thing, the even a 64-bit architecture, it was earlier giving me instruction for 32-bit. So you have to know certain things to guide these AI, these LLMs, I would say, towards the thing that you want, because it can take you on a very different and weird path, and you wouldn't know what to do. So the very thing that I said, it took a lot of time, and the main problem was it wasn't like I was doing something wrong. It was very it was not difficult. It was a very naive mistake. Why? Because I did not know anything about cross compile. So I'll tell you exactly where the problem was. So I was compiling. The first thing is that on the on every blog, what they used is they downloaded the toolchain and then used it. I asked this ChatGPT that is there any other way? It says that mostly what people do is just copy paste, copy the file system, root file system from your Pi0 onto your host machine, and that would work as a sysroot. So sysroot is what is needed for cross compiling, and which is exactly what I did, but it wasn't building at all. So after a lot of errors, I just copy pasted little errors. No, this is not that. So what I did briefly, first I basically used Bluetooth CTL to understand all these characteristics and device discovery. So what I did, I used Raspberry Pi and the Bluetooth CTL to have a connection established with my phone. So you can say this here. So it just connected to my phone using this thing, Bluetooth CTL. So that means the Pi can be used. So the hardware is capable. So this basically tested that I can use Raspberry Pi, the Pi0W, with my phone via Bluetooth. So this established that. After that, the step was to set up the cross compiler. Like even I did not know what are the concepts of BLE stack. Even that I learned from this. I wouldn't, like, this was not the only thing. I definitely did some Googling also. So the thing is, for the MVP, these things are very good. Like if you don't know how to attack a system, the system is completely unknown. For example, this thing that I was going with, the Rust plus Linux plus BLE, then it can give you the brainstorming part. It can help you like tremendously. So it gave all this file, all this code that would set up some characteristics with some what do you call these thing, add characteristic, with some properties like these attributes or properties. I'm not sure. See, I don't even know these things. So basically you can create services which have characteristics. So all these things, it gave me a code, but definitely I need to set up the cross compiler. So this is where my journey started with the nightmare of cross compiling. How to test NRF? I used NRF. So this was the problem initially. So the pkg config sysroot directory was not available for the cargo and the basically cargo. So it gave me this error. I just copy pasted this error into this. It gave me some information. Based on that, I looked it into the file system. Method 1 recommended. So all these things, I'll show you the errors, the problem that then now is cross compiling. Easy to cross compile Linux kernel. Yeah, so I did that quite some time ago. And compiling a Linux kernel is very easy, very easy as compared to cross compiling a Rust program on your host machine for other architecture like from x86 to ARM64. Right, so from there I understood like why it is difficult, what the sysroot is, all those things. Then it told me what dbus is, like okay. Then how the dbus was communicating with the how dbus was being used by the Bluetooth CTL and other Rust libraries to communicate with the underlying hardware. And so yeah, after that I'll show you the error and the problem. Yeah, so I did all of those things and it still did not compile. A lot of things went wrong, so I'll just simply show you here. So like I just opened this terminal. So if I show you, like this is the very minimal code. We just print Rust hello world. Let me just modify this thing called Rust hello world CW2. All right, and now I'm going to compile it. Oh, holy shit, I think I'll have a problem now. The problem is no, not USB ports. I don't have enough USB ports, so I'll just use my mini PC to power my Raspberry Pi. Right, so and then SSH, it is booting. So once it boots, then I'll be in. It did not boot yet. I think it did. Nope. Yes, it did. Yep. So you can see CD workspace. Alright, UNAME test A. So you can see it is a Linux Raspberry Pi with this and preamp Debian and Arch Linux 64. So it's a 64-bit system. Right, exa rmrpi this exa. Right, so now इसमें क्या है? Yeah, so I mean this thing is not needed. Right, so now if I compile this thing, this is for the server, my bad. I'll just open a terminal here. So if I compile CRGO cargo B, release, it will not compile because of these things. It the sysroot directory, right? And so it basically needs a sysroot directory to work and the pkg config path to work. These two things were missing, and I was messing around with this file a lot. This is the sysroot directory. Even though I gave it to linker that this is the file, it was still not finding it because of XYZ things. I'm not going to go into the details. The point is, it did not build. What was the problem? These environment variables were not set. So what if we set them? You can set them, and it did not work. Why? Because let me show you. Can you see this thing? Yeah. So this was the variables, environment variable that needs to be set, sysroot directory and the pkg config path. So it was fine. Like, this is the base directory. For example, ls workspace pi sysroot, right? So this pi sysroot directory is what I copied from Raspberry Pi. Let me show you. Siri. So this is my pi 0, right? So right, so these are the sysroot directory. This basically user and I think user and lib, these two are needed for, right? So user and lib used rsync for that. I don't know, because rsync is preferred for such kind of things. That even that ChatGPT told me not you should not use SSH SCP shell copy, secure copy, because that does not copy recursively or something was that. I don't really know. So yeah, so I just instead of downloading the complete cross toolchain from website, I just copied my Raspberry Pi's file system, because essentially this is what the sysroot is apparently. I don't know after that. So this was copied, and that's why the path gave it a name. Then this thing was the main problem, because let me show you what ChatGPT was showing me consistently. Like, these are all these errors. Just मत्था पच्ची बेंच बहुत कर ली थी इसमें. इसके बाद में and it showed me, I asked that I'm passing the linker, but still it is not, why it is not able to find it, because binary linker format and all that. Thus the problem was so fucking stupid, so fucking minute. I just gave it everything and still wasn't compiling. What it asked me, this is the rsync that I did, and no sysroot variables. It see, at this point it like previously, yeah. So here it said that you should ls this variable and this whole thing. I thought the sysroot was would be there, because I did not ask ChatGPT to create a variable to hold the name, and it did. Apparently, it just what I really meant is this. बेंचो ऐसे कैसे assume कर लेगा भाई? तो these are the problems Next is just without any placeholders, just told me what is this. So yeah, so in whole this thing, we have to, me and ChatGPT, we have to isolate the problem essentially, whether it is a Rust problem or is it a setup problem, because the setup comes before the Rust. So I think there was a very beautiful command that it told me to use to isolate that. Yeah, run this. It's something like this. So yeah, so this told whether it is a Rust problem or setup problem. Where can I download official 2.0? So I was frustrated that I wanted to download this, but then I feel like not doing it from this site. Actually, it was taking a lot of time, so I thought, well, fuck it. Again, basically, I basically want the sysroot folder content that I rsync for my Pi. I feel that's the core issue here. I was thinking that because I did not know how this command works, so maybe I was copying something wrong. That's why it did not work. So this just sort ChatGPT agreed that yeah, you should do that and blah blah blah. And it also, yeah, so here it clarified that uses host installed compiler, uses Pi's file system as sysroot. So I again rsync, copied everything. I'm just looking for that thing that yeah, there. So it asked me that you should do this, which I did, right? Like this was the I mean, not exactly this one, but the main problem is exactly is similar here. So this was the sysroot directory which I set to my Pi sysroot, which you can see here, Pi sysroot inside this. And then it asked me that you should do this, a Pi sysroot user lib pkg config. And you can see it's user lib and then the architecture itself. This thing. After that comes the pkg. So what I was doing, I was pkg config path. I was giving a path which did not exist. So it was going default onto my host directory, where all the libraries had different like they were compiled for x86 system. So Rust compiler was basically using them to build for ARM64, and from there it said something like let me show you. Why is it not enough to tell linker about a system directly? Because this path did not exist, brother. Where did this solved it? Yeah, so I accidentally passed the actual this thing here, actual, and fuck it. I'll just tell you. I just change this and so what I was doing is, so if I do this cargo b release, I'll get an error, right? So if we sysroot pkg config, right? So this is what ChatGPT gave me, and this is what I pasted, and it did not, and the exact error that it was giving me, I'll show you this one, right? So the paths are set, and now if I do this, then it will build. Yeah, so this was the error. The point is, now let me, yeah. So for whenever the target is this, which is by default, like I'm set it target to this, and whenever it is this, then it is going to use the linker, which is this one, Arch 64 Linux GNU GCC. So the point, let me this is very good. So which linker is this one? These were the kind of doubts that I was having when I was setting this up. It definitely lives on my host machine. For example, you can what the fuck, Arch Linux GNU GCC. Yeah, so if I Arch Linux file arcx Linux GNU GCC, what the fuck, so you can say this lives on my machine. I'm on my host machine, right? So you can see this lives in my host machine, which is user bin and R64. It's definitely belongs to this architecture, not not my host machine one. Right. So and if I do this usr user bin arch GNU GCC, you can see that this is ELF64 bit LSB execute. It is for this architecture, right? That means, what does this tell me? This tells me that it's a compiler which will that's why it is called cross compiler. Nah, it is built to run on 8664 architecture, but the output that it will give, that output will run on my R64 machine, which is my Pi 0. So this was the tool chain that you basically the cross compiler that you download from your package manager. Yeah, so this one, when you do this, it just basically downloads the cross compiler, right? So now the point comes that that this exists on my host machine, and exist on my host machine will compile a program into a binary that will run on Arch64, right? So this thing is clear, means the linker is available, it is findable, and so on and so forth. And then these are the flags that gets passed, that I'm passing linker argument that my sysroot folder is this one, right? And if I do this, like I accidentally did this one, like print sysroot folder, it still says user AR64 GNU Linux. Means this compiler will look for sysroot in this directory, and this is exactly the problem. Why? That even I did this one, that I gave it the path and the config pkg config path, the sysroot directory, it this path did not exist. The simple mistake was putting a Arch64 here, and this was come to my attention after hours of debugging. So here, right? So after library, because this thing is exist, and because I did not know anything, it didn't even come to my mind that I should basically cross verify this from my Raspberry Pi itself, right? So like this is where pkg config actually lives, man. If I search for lib and pkg See, inside this pkg there is nothing, or is there? No, there is nothing. But if I do this one, then there are things, right? So these were the kind of problems. So now if I do this, the source, the script that I just showed you, like this one, it just sets a proper path that actually exists. For example, let me just show you echo echo. If I do this, it will print to this, and if I nothing will show up. So that was the issue. That's why now this will show you, because this path actually may exist. Now this is set up. Now if we build it, this thing will build. Right, this thing builds, and now I have this simple script which will simply just copy the binary that I built to my Raspberry Pi as a very simple script, so that I don't have to manually copy every time our copy to Pi. I'll just call copy to Pi and it will pass it. So you can see it is here. Now it prints hello world Rust2, which was, you can see, this is what we printed, right? And these were the basically it's a copy paste from ChatGPT itself. So I don't even know if I should use this or not, I don't know about any of these. Definitely used this one for some, but well, we'll see. Thing is, I don't know Rust, and this thing is going to introduce async Rust, so I'm going to have some nightmares also. Having said that, how many minutes have I wasted in explaining what I already did? It's कहाँ था टाइम भाई? OBS में आता है 38 minutes. Very well. Okay, so the thing is, what works? I have tested that my Raspberry Pis have the hardware set up properly and it can connect with BLE, and my phone can access it. I have tested that through Bluetooth CTL, and cross compiler is set up, and I can copy the code, copy the binary to Raspberry Pi over SSH, and so the housekeeping stuff is done. Now we can actually focus on the code itself. Okay, so this was the pretty much. So how am I going to do that? Just like I did this cross compiling, I'm going to follow the exact those steps, which was just ChatGPT it, but not blindly, right? So all these things he just showed me, right? So now it has divided things into these phases, and so in the very first phase, we'll try to connect a Rust app to the system D bus, right? Because because when we use Bluetooth CTL, I think it also talks to D bus, exposes a root object. So this way we'll not just simply copy paste it and then struggling with the errors. We'll take one system or one component of this entire thing that we're trying to build, I think, and then understand that to its entirety as much as we need it, and then we'll move forward. So in the first phase, we'll just understand this dbus and how to connect, how to use Rust to connect to the system dbus. After that, it says that we should register a GET application. Then we'll create a service. Then we'll actually write a characteristic which will read, write, and notify. Then we'll implement these things. I don't know what that is. I think these comes from the library, and these are some sort of interfaces that the library asks us to implement, I think. And hook characteristic value to GPS sensor timer. Okay, we'll do that later. So the first thing is this thing. So let's just see and understand what the dbus is. You know how I go about it? That instead of general Googling, you just use these things. Dbus primer, even in short. So we'll understand what this thing is, and in a very short time, and then move on to implement it. You can close this one. You are using ZBus, and what did you suggest me earlier? Linux only BlueZ dbus wrapper. If API version changes, adjust accordingly. What the? Should I use? So it is saying. It is saying ZBus is the cleanest in 2025. BlueZ uses async dbus. ZBus is the what is it saying? I'm just for example, first question that I have in mind is I have to understand like which one to pick, this one or this one. But until this thing gives me a primer. Okay, so this gives me primer is a message bus system providing IPC for Linux. It allows application to talk to one another and the OS kernel to notify users for application of hardware events. For an embedded engineer, think of it as a software implementation of a hardware bus. Processors attached to the bus to broadcast signals or make method calls to other connected processes, or make method calls to two bus types. Most Linux systems run two separate types of buses: system bus and session bus. A single persistent bus for the whole OS. It handles system level events. Example, new USB device plugged in, network interface up. It runs with high privileges. One instance per user login session. It connects user applications. It has user level privileges. Okay, addressing hierarchy. dbus uses a specific hierarchy to route messages, often confusing at first. Think of it like a URL or file system path. For example, dbus term bus name, object name, interface member. Analogy is file path class. Example is this thing. Bus name is network org freedom network manager. Object path is free desktop. Device is 0. Interface is What? I don't understand what's the difference between this thing and this thing and this thing. We'll see. In practice, you send a message to dbus name asking for the object at a specific path to execute a method defined in the interface. Pretty straightforward. Communication model methods, one-to-one standard RPC, remote process. You send a request, the target replies, blocking or non-blocking. Okay. Signal one-to-many. Methods are one-to-one, signals are one-to-many. Yeah, you may signal a lot of things. So it's a pub-sub model. A process emits a signal and any interested process listening for that signal reacts. Yeah, I implemented pub-sub model myself. No reply is expected. Okay. CLI tool for debugging. Since you use Linux command line tools heavily, busctl part of systemd excellent for introspection. Busctl tree list all object paths on the bus. Monitor sniffs traffic. Sniff traffic. Nice. Like Wireshark or for IPC. Oh, okay, interesting. Busctl monitor. What the busctl min not ur. Oh la la. I knew something was busctl tre. Service is this one and it has Bhagwan Jane kya kya hai. dbus monitor, classic tool to watch messages in real time. Defeat a GUI tool to browse available interfaces and method. Embedded relevance in embedded Linux. Dbus is the standard glue between your low-level hardware daemons and your application logic. Okay, so hardware daemons are running and then dbus connects, basically allows you to connect your application to the hardware daemons. For example, a C daemon reads a sensor via I2C and emits a dbus signal. Like I designed recently a system which behaves exactly like this. A separate UI process, Qt Python, subscribe to this signal to update the display, keeping the UI and hardware logic decoupled. Perfect. Okay, so now we understand what the dbus is. Which one should we use, BlueZ or ZBus? Because earlier it gave me, what is Bluer? Bluer क्या है फिर? Bluer है क्या रे बाबा? $48 minutes. Nice. Should I ask ChatGPT itself or पहले तो मेरे को ये जानना है कि ब्लू और BlueZ, like what are these things, like BlueZ, ZBus and Bluer. What a weird name. Bluer versus BlueZ versus ZBus. Context, Linux plus Rust plus Raspberry Pi plus Bluetooth. Because I don't know which one is which in this. From Gypty sir is saying that ZBus is cleanest in 2025, but we'll see. Too much. Quick summary: use BlueZ as your OS service. It's required, and Bluer as your Rust code interface. Do not use ZBus directly unless you are building a custom replacement for Bluer. Sorry. Use BlueZ as your OS service and Bluer as your Rust code interface. Yeah, tell me the role of these things. OS daemon. Oh, BlueZ uses dbus, async dbus. Okay. Okay, I was confusing this with the Rust library. It is not a Rust library. Is yeah, I think I'm most I'm certainly sure it's not a Rust library because I think I remember something. ZBus is the cleanest. Okay. So it's a OS daemon. The actual Bluetooth stack managing hardware. So kernel plus user space. Okay. So it's okay. Yeah, I remember. It's a Linux Bluetooth stack. BlueZ. I understand. There's a Rust SDK, a high-level library that makes BlueZ easy to use in Rust code. Okay, the transport a generic dbus library. Okay, so it's a dbus library. It can talk to BlueZ, but you have to write the raw messages yourself. Okay, so if my concern is to only use Bluetooth, then this is a better approach than this one. So it's a generic dbus library. So yeah, so this yeah, it's clear. Dbus library, that's it. But you have to write the raw message yourself, which is the intent. So that's why I'm going to use this. Okay, so complexity, and it's a background service. None. Low provides types like adapter, devices, characteristics, handles the messy dbus parsing for you. Okay, I might end up using this later on, but first I'll understand this thing so that I know how to deal with dbus, how the dbus deals with the things in the background for me, right? Hi, you must manually construct dbus messages like yeah, no problem at all. Cross compile, none. Harder, depends on the dbus RSC binding. Why would I want to cross compile it? So you need sysroot or bias sysroot से तो पहले परेशान था cross compiler. Yeah, it's done. It's easy then, sure. Best for everyone. Required infrastructure, application logic, building BLE central peripherals or scanners. Extreme customization if you need a tiny binary with 0C dependencies. I like 0 dependencies. It's not a library. You okay? Understood. Is the client library? Sure. The wire protocol. Okay. Is a pure Rust implementation of dbus protocol. Okay. It does not know anything about Bluetooth. Like I said, pure Rust. Okay. Cool. Recommendation for you, embedded engineer. Well, sure. Stick with Bluer. Nope. It is well maintained and hides the dbus complexity, which is significant in Bluetooth. ऐसा क्या? Solve the cross compile pain. Since Bluer links to C libraries, use cross which handles the Docker sysroot for you. Cargo install cross. Cross build target is this and this release. You may need a custom cross.toml to install in the container. I think I'll suffer. I'll use ZBus. Okay, it first wants to connect to this and then sure. I think we can write some code at this point. What this proves, Rust binary runs on Pi, which is it does. Can access run dbus system bus socket. Permissions are correct. Okay, so this is a Very good starting point. So we'll do this. Dependencies are copied. I'll okay, waiting for file lock on build. Cool. Ugh. 11:18, almost an hour. What the fuck? Why are you giving me this wrong format? It's the same error, but at this point, why? When searching for libm I mean, I solved this problem. Why are you coming again? Am I missing something here? Tokyo is not a problem. Zbus macro 4, Zbus 4. Bluetooth daemon. Like previously, why did it build then? I'm thinking like why is it not building? So it's a like this thing is correct. It's filled with exit status one. Note that this thing is omitted. Iri papre. Like it was building, right? So sysroot is this one, which is true. Some comments are waited okay. Usually verse 15.0. Skipping incompatible when searching for libsom. Cannot find this file in wrong format. File in wrong format. This especially comes like what is the There was another allow cross one. Pkg config allow cross equals to 1. Nope, not compile this due to previous error. The only thing I changed is let's see if this thing will build. I changed only this thing, and yeah, something is the problem with it's still giving me this thing. Maybe it's not set properly. Sys root directory is what is the problem, man? What do I do now? Let me think. I'm thinking like why is it a problem? So I'll do one thing. Let me change it back to is this responsible for that? I can try. I think what? How the fuck did you build if that is that is not a problem. Tokyo version 1.4, is this the problem? And what if I do this? It's also wait a minute. Ah, Okay, lala. It is not building. Without putting Bluer in dependencies, code is not building. Following are the errors. I think I'll simply oh, your failure nothing to do with the bluesy blue rivers. You still have. अरे बहनचोद नहीं है problem भाई. And it just happens to surface differently depending on which grade pulls. The linker you are seeing is 100% deterministic and explain itself once you read it clearly. If this route were correctly applied, the linker would search. I know this is host, it's not ARM. That means this route is not being applied correctly at link time. You already discovered this empirically, but here is the rule. Does not automatically rewrite all implicit linker paths unless the toolchain is built to respect it. Your current situation, GCC on your host was built expecting so was built expecting you confirmed this. Yeah, it is giving me the U overrides this at runtime. Yes, but some default search paths are still leaking in. Is this the problem? Especially when Rust adds no default libraries, which makes the linker much stricter. No default library. Okay, this is why you see why adding blur fixes it, but does it really? What actually happens when you add blur? More dynamic linking, different ordering of paths, PKG config driven libraries. Okay. The core mental model, but this is Rust target triple. Tells Rust C instruction set ABI which libstd to use. Linker, this must be host executable that produces ARM64 binaries and is configured for your sysroot. These are orthogonal. Realfix Cleaner option recommend use a toolchain built for Pi sysroot. This is what Raspberry Pi Foundation expects you to do. Official toolchain repo is this thing. Inside it, use from that repo, not your distro's repo. Really? It is because it is built to respect sysroot. Default search path aligns with Pi's option 2 you already discovered, but cleaner. Tell the linker explicitly where the ARM64 libraries live. This forces LD to stop falling back to this thing. I mean, didn't I do it already? Uh, Library art 64. Let's see if you are correct. This forces LD to fall back. How to prove this route is now correct? Run this again. WL math library. Okay. Sysroot library. बन जाओ तेरी माँ का जो this is a sysroot path. This is exist. PKG config path. This is sysroot pkg config sysroot directory. AR64 GNU. Well, it has lot of math libraries, I feel. And then this thing workspace library art64 and then library user lib. Well, it's the same thing. User library. What if I do is not correct? Very important. Let me what is it doing? Like, what is the problem exactly? only paths under this thing. What does this command do? Like, what is WL? This is for verbose. GCC WL pass comma separated to the linker. अरे क्या था? After text, around, before text. Where is around? HIJKLM. No P. अब RG का भी देखो भाई. RG ROUND around. Look around or backtrace. ये गान मारा है. WL must be pass comma separated WL and then comma separated this options to the linker. So this is what this thing is doing. We pass it V. I guess V is for display the programs invoked by the compiler. LM is especially for linking, I guess. Linking maths library, I think output goes into this. X, what is this X thing is? Specify the language of the following input files. C. Null. This is bullshitting me. Explain this fucking command. What is it doing? ये भी खत्म ही है बिल्कुल कतई एकदम. Rusty telling the linker something verbatim. Link arg equals to xyz means pass xyz directly to the linker. That means Rust does zero interpretation here. Okay. This is GCC syntax. WL arg1 r2 arg3 means hey GCC forward these argument to LD actual linker. Makes sense. We just saw in the help section. So WL comma r path is equals to, it will pass this exit to the linker. Is not for GCC, it's for linker. Okay. RPath actually means, this is what people think it is. Many people confuse it with RPath. It is not runtime. It does not go into the final binary. It does not affect out execution on the Pi. RPath is a link time hint to linker for resolving shared library dependencies for shared dependencies of other shared libraries when the linker needs to resolve .so dependencies while linking. Look here first. Sysroot alone one of this is the key for entire system. Sysroot is this. LD still has implicit default search path, and because your linker binary is host installed cross compiler cross linker, it still knows about the chod. It should not, man. So during link libstd needs libam.so. LD does this internally. Try implicit path. Try sysroot relative path. Give up. That's why you saw skipping compatible this thing. When you add this, you are injecting a high priority search path for link time only. Now this logic is check this path. I think it does this checking, but it is not finding it there. So what could be the problem? अरे ये नहीं जानना भाई कर्नल कंपाइलिंग मेरे को. This phase sysroot is incomplete. libart64 एग्जिस्ट करता है. यूजर libart64 एग्जिस्ट करता है. इसका आउटपुट तो स्टिल दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम बड़ी. इधर चैट जीपीटी हो चुका हैंग, और मोर लाइक माय ब्राउजर इज hanged. See on Google, if you copy paste such long errors, it just give you gibberish. Skipping incompatible, but pass these things to linker, pass this to linker, libm. Okay, so okay, did it? I mean, it's very clever. libmso.6 libmso vector math vector mat. So searching for so does my Arch64 I mean it does exist, so that means it should exist by sysroot lib ar. I mean it does exist. What I'm thinking is I mean it is a 64-bit LSB shared object, it is compiled for this thing. So what is the problem? Dynamically linked is then why the fuck are you crying here? What am I missing? User lib gcc arch. What the thing is this? This is when searching for. Why are you searching for here? ChatGPT is correct to point this out. Cannot find libs. Give it a proper library, which is libarch. Again, user libarch, which this should also exist in libm.so.6, which is again so it did pass this R path. PQRST, don't see R in here. I think I was hoping to set some but the linker tells you clearly key line is skipping this thing, wrong format. Of course it is a wrong format. Two important observation, the linker is still trying this thing. Why is it trying? It is not even attempting this one. Why LD is still looking for, despite this and R link path, the missing pieces R path is not used for L. R link is not used for, does not affect dash L resolution. When you write dash L, LD does this search order path from as a default linker search path built into the linker. Only after library is found, path is used to resolve dependency. Okay, so this thing ignores this path. Used after lim is found. So right now this is never found. So the ARPA is never consulted. So sysroot alone didn't save you. You expected that GNU LD does not fully virtualize search, but internally it still has baked in default like this when searching for this. I just believe when the sysroot is correct. So the sysroot where the linker just is not able being told to. You must add explicit L path that points into sysroot. So if I do this thing and I don't wanna do this thing, since our path is not working, then why the hell have them in the first place? Which is libarch, user libarch. I mean, this makes sense. This has to be there because there is I mean, I'm just copy pasting it in this for its sake, but for that thing, let me just I'll do something link arg. What was it? I asked it to explain this. The result dash c dash c. Result rest c telling the means pass xyz to the linker. So c and this thing are is equals to this is for GNU. This was for GNU Argonaut to compilers. Pass this to Linux. So our path. So I can simply say pass this to linker. And I can say so these two I don't think I need them. So I'm saying rust pass this to the linker, then I'm the compiler, then I'm calling the GCC that pass these things directly to linker. We'll see if this thing even compiles. I removed the RPath because it wasn't helping either. What the motherfucker? Oh. I'm gonna do Come on, bitch. थोड़े भीगे भीगे से थोड़े नम हैं हम तेरी help me brother, help me here. I mean, that definitely means it is search. It has found those libraries, so the path is proper. Error is expected. I saw that. Now I want to see how it would is found. This is found. No, I'm तो ठीक है. So, compile only, no link. How to test only library resolution, no main required. This should succeed silently. So you are saying GCC sysroot is this one. L is this. Dash C, I think. Dash C. I'm just switching this link without startup files. Static C runtime, minimal dummy. वो तो ये virus was failing earlier. Abe Rust, I can give you a final. Yes, please. Give me this. What did it say? Lock LD to sysroot only? Sysroot Rust architecture, and then whatever these libraries were, and dash L frame dash. I think I made a mistake here. Oh, and the home Rust by the target unknown. This thing is WL के बाद तो ये dash Z dash Z now. I think however many L I'm seeing, L after L there is a space. I think that should think this should solve it. Otherwise, I have one more trick. After that, I'll look into the ChatGPT. I'm just wondering, would it be better if I had Googled it? Or is it a more like which one is more efficient approach? I don't know which one is more efficient. Maybe if I had just Googled it, then I would have actually known what these things mean. But the information would have been scattered. So I don't know if ज़्यादा टाइम लगता है कम लगता है तेरी माँ की बहन चोद बहन का लड़ा चल के ही राजी नहीं है. गांडू है क्या बहन चोद. Sys root you debugged and fixes the link. Like this is not gonna work, buddy. अगर ये चल गया ना तो मैं तेरी गांड मारूंगा बहन के लोड़े. मत्था खराब कर दिया इस चीज ने. What? Arch 64 unknown Linux GNU. RUST rust up target Arch unknown Linux GNU. This is installed, buddy. It may not be installed. Consider downloading this compiler. Thus, bहन चोद. Process failed to run Rusty for the. I know what the problem is. I'm just doing a stupid thing at this point. Because it basically this will eventually become this. And this thing was definitely not working. There we have it. Now this thing, it is hallucinating at this point. I'll have to do something else. I have to basically, the point is, it is path, how to force linker to look for shared object in a particular directory. Context cross compiling Rust. Let's see. Doing Rust cross compilation. Yeah, this stream is काफी बड़ी हो चुकी है and nothing fruitful has come yet. It might not be, might need to be a list or table, and relative paths are tricky. Setting pkg system directory and pkg config is crucial if the create uses pkg config to find the library. The snippet specifically mention pkg allow cross compile equals to true. User is using Rust. I should prioritize the builder method for specific robustness and should also explicitly mention the pkg config variable since they are using plural heavily relies on pkg. Okay. So in the blue debus, they likely need pkg config sysroot or the passes it to LD. Okay, the prompt. क्या कथा लिख दी है बहन चोद, क्या चुतिया है यार ये. Should I try this? Will this even work? I'll pick it up. I think I should end this because I should solve this on office stream. नहीं होगा build. Saw it, had a feeling. Am I fucking stupid? If your custom directory is not standard on the Raspberry Pi, the binary will crash at run startup. I have no fucking idea. भाई क्या कथा लिख दी है इसने? कौन है ये? हैंड का रोड़ा कहाँ हैं हम? Pass this thing, or I can simply just what was that? The L flag. This is called userlib. चल जा मत्ते भैन चो, चल जा भैन चो भैंडी. वो कंपाइलर क्या यार, पाथ की दिक्कत है, वो पाथ नहीं ले रहा है. पंचो पंचो पंचो. How the fuck do I give it a path then? What the fuck? Oh man. Is this all this need? Then why? Oh. It worked, and it will not. Now I am curious at this point. I want to ask ChatGPT, what is the difference between. भाई ये तो फैल गया. मैंने इंटेंशनली स्लो कर देते हैं यार ये लोग चीज़ें, दिक्कत ये है, इतना नहीं सुधार मेरा सिस्टम। Difference between remove this one. I think difference between for example just a one, these two are enough I guess. Lay bar 64 and then this is भाई कितना स्लो है यार ये। Difference between these two are the same. Explain each flag. I'll just ask this thing. These two are not the same and serves a different purpose in Rust compilation pipeline. The first L is a Rust C flag for library search paths, while the second C linker is a code gen flag that passes argument directly to linker. Using both is redundant and can cause unexpected behaviors. Am I using both? No. Rust C library. This is a Rust native that tells Rust C to search this path for native library. That is during linking. When it runs during Rust C's final link step. Okay. What Rust C does converts to, what did this guy say? Oh my god. Rust level library search path. This is a Rust C flag, not a linker flag. It tells Rust when resolving native libraries -l-foo needed by Rust creates look in this directory. So this is exactly the problem, I think. Who consumes it? Rust C later translated into linker argument. What Rust C does internally, Rust will eventually pass something like this to the linker, but only for libraries Rust C explicitly knows it needs. Does not help the linker find transitive dependencies, does not fix, cannot find this. It does fix further. Raw linker argument dash C dash link r equals to, what it means, this bypasses Rust C logic and tells Rust C pass this argument to the linker. Entire linker invocation objectify both Rust and C dependencies. It does not get fixed by this. Are you fucking kidding me, man? I even removed that from this thing. Understanding of library location. Standard way to link C libraries, like this thing. Rust C, this is going to be the effect. Link arg equals to, this is Rust C code agency option that passes the exact string. I'll then path directly to the system linker without see forwards it forward to using final link. Link argue to just pass it to the linker and then yeah, basically LD gets it. Aspect is only first one. It's sufficient for linking. So from your pi sysroot and cleaner, remove the second. It's redundant and may cause linker warnings or duplicate alflex. Pro tip: if you need runtime library search, WL path via link arg. This bakes the path into the elf binary, so this path it finally built the shit. Let me embarrass the ChatGPT first, motherfucker. Let me see what does it say. Because it is saying usse fix hota usse to fix ho nahi raha buddy. This solved the problem. I'll do one thing. That make तेरी बहन का पैंदा पैंचोत. But you ended up with this minimal correct principled fixed for your setup. Motherfucker, this took me 1.5 hours. Let me explain why this works. अच्छा ठीक है. And why this combination is sufficient. The core problem you had, your linker errors were all variations of cannot find this thing. Yeah, so true. That means LD was still falling back to host path. But file-wise, this line by line explanation tells LD pretend this thing is this. Cool. So when LD searched for this, it actually will look for this. This stops host library leakage. Without this flag, LD always cross compilation breaks silently. This flag is non-negotiable. I'll test this just right now. Why this matters? On Debian Raspberry Pi libraries live not directly in live. So sysroot rewrites this to this. but it does not magically add subdirectory. So Rust C needs help finding lib to this. Syslin rewrites this to this, but it does not magically add subdirectory. So you have to add this subdirectory. Okay. The reason, same reason, but for this, and this. These live in. Okay. Why this works without RPath? You earlier fixed it using this. Why it is not needed now? Because your binary links directly against this and this. All of those are now discoverable by via sysroot and lpath. There are no nested shared libraries dependencies yet. Once you start linking BlueZ debug system, you will likely need this. नहीं No, I don't need that. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna test this one thing. What is this? It is saying because previously मेरे को दिक्कत ये आ रही थी कि अगर मैं यहाँ से sysroot हटा दूँ तो क्या होगा? मैंने देख लिया कि if I remove this dash, if I keep the sysroot flag that I just removed and remove the pkg variables, then it will not build because pkg gets used before this sysroot thing. Okay, so the sysroot is needed. Cool. Config path. Sysroot directory, this path is this. Okay. Motherfucker took so much time just for a simple flag. So what did I understand? That this dash capital L thingy is for Rust compiler, and the other thing is for the, it just pass the string to the original linker, that GCC linker. Now I think we can write some fucking code. Can we? Okay. Now give me phase 1, whatever that we were initially doing. दे दे भाई. Do we really need Pro? ChatGPT Pro? अरे बैंड के चुदाए. कहाँ था वो कोड? I think I should write this thing. Otherwise, it just. I'll quickly take a photo of this. And Rust app to connect to systemd. I'll just simply copy paste it. अबे इधर का है कोई error है भाई. Fail to load, cannot create expander for noses file or directory. हो रहा है ठंड पाओ थोड़ी सी. Tokyo. Example कहाँ से शुरू है? Example is this thing. Working with tasks. Asynchronous program in Rust are based around lightweight non-blocking units of execution called tasks. Fail to resolve. Help. Could not find time in Tokyo. Found an item that was configured out. Item is gated behind the time feature. So I need sort of time feature, huh? Oh, do. Will this solve it? It kinda did. Yep. Oh, so keep alive connected to, I think I should cargo build release and copy to Pi. We'll see. Connected है महाशय. Is that a dash time something? Nahi. Forget it. I'll just run this. App running plus E connected to T-bus. Keep process alive. Tokyo sleep time dot await. Tokyo time sleep duration from second 60 dot await. Okay, so 60 second के लिए it will go to sleep for around 60 second, which is should be plus control connected to D-bus. Like, this is just print statements, right? No, this will not wait a minute. Connected to D-bus. Why are they fucking calling this 2 times? Connecting. It's a connecting. Okay. Connected to D-bus, connected to D-bus. So this will not print until this gets finished running. Keep alive. Sleep from second. So it will sleep for 60 second, then loop again, then sleep for 60 second. What is this connection thingy? A connection is a D-bus or a direct peer once created. Okay, so I think I should end the stream because this is a very well we achieved something. I thought I would not, but joke's on me. So yeah. That was something. It's a checkpoint. Checkpoint connected to D-bus. Do I have any remote? Nope. All right, boys. Thank you for joining me. मिलते हैं.